welcome back to another video. I've been trying to make this video for, gosh, I don't even know how long now. Probably over a month now. Things have just been crazy. We wanted to give you guys an update video about where we've been, what's been going on with life, what's happening with our channel, because as you guys know, we have not been uploading a lot of vlogs. We have recorded a lot of vlogs. They have not made it to the channel, and I'll get into that in a little bit. But I just kind of want to start from the beginning. We've been going through a lot of processes that have been taking up a lot of time. And the first process that is now branching off into other processes has finally come to an end. So the first thing that has happened is Madelyn has been diagnosed with autism level 1 with anxiety. And this is something that I knew was coming for a really, really long time. Those of you that have been here for the lifespan of this channel know that I went to school for my IT degree at Penn State, got a bachelor's in IT and cybersecurity. I worked for the government, and then I worked for a school district. Then I got laid off from the school district. And while I was in the school district, I found out I really liked working with special needs children. So I went back to school for my special education degree with an emphasis in autism, of all things. I pretty much was done right as Everly was born and the pandemic hit is when I ended that. So I started as Madelyn was a baby and then ended when Everly was a baby, and went to school for all of that, worked with special needs kiddos and autistic kiddos. And yeah, so anyway, I had seen the signs of this for quite some time, much longer than anybody else had. So when I started bringing it up to people, they're like, I don't know, I don't think so. And then they started seeing more and more as I was like, this is a trait of autism, and this is a trait of autism, and she's doing this. Look what she's doing right now. That is all things of autism. And I'm going to be making a lot of videos about all of this, what was missed, what happened, how the diagnosis process went, all this stuff. There's going to be a big shift in our content. So if you are here primarily just for the vlogs or whatever, we are going to have a lot of content that is going to branch out from this about autism, diagnosis, sensory issues, sensory activity, things like that, which are all still incredibly great things to do with any neurotypical child. It doesn't mean you can't do them just because your child is not on the spectrum or doesn't have ADHD or doesn't have sensory needs or anything like that. All of these activities and different things I post will still be great for neurotypical kids as well. But I really want to use my knowledge from my degree to reach out to those who are struggling or who need information or who need help diagnosing their kid, diagnosing themselves with anything. It's a really good way to put my education to use, is to help others through our YouTube channel. So while we still have those family vlogs, we are going to do a pretty big shift into family vlogs, but with autism, things like that. So the reason that I want to say that this added more processes on there is because they believe that Madelyn's autism is through genetics, which obviously makes me the target here. I do have ADHD, auditory processing disorder, sensory processing. I also have a writing disorder called dysgraphia, OCD, a lot of other things that at the time were very, very missed whenever I was diagnosed. I was educationally diagnosed with ADD, which then turned into ADHD later on. But those educational diagnoses are like, you might as well just throw the paper out. It doesn't really matter. In today's world, you need a medical diagnosis. There are two different things. Educational diagnosis is what you get in a school district. So if your child was diagnosed through the school district, they've got an educational diagnosis. A medical diagnosis is really what your child needs to get outside services if they need them. So if they're in need, Madelyn is in therapy and speech. If she needs those services that we can't pay for with our own insurance, she needs that medical diagnosis to help her qualify for all of these things and get the help that she needs. We homeschool. I don't like the public education system after working in it. So we probably will never pursue any form of educational diagnosis. Medical diagnosis is what we have. And that's what they feel that I need to have done. So now I'm on the list to have a neuropsychological evaluation done to see if the autism comes from me, which I think many of us already know. probably true. But that opened up a whole new door for Kaylee as well, because you guys know we've been having so many problems with Kaylee. And the reason we haven't been uploading any of these vlogs we've been doing is because we start a vlog and everything seems fine. And then midway through, Kaylee just has this meltdown. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours of just like chaos that I can't record and post that on the internet. I will later on for references and videos I'm going to make, but I can't post a vlog. And that's how every single one of our days is ending, is just Kaylee having these massive outbursts. And we don't know what's going on. Like, why all of a sudden are we in a parking lot and now like you're on the ground screaming and kicking? I've got an Apple Watch. Her last one, when we went to Hershey Park, we actually went to the Crayola factory and then Hershey Park, tried to vlog it. She had a meltdown that was so bad that my Apple Watch actually sent me a notification asking if I need an ambulance because it noticed I was taking extreme physical abuse. Like that, and that's not normal. And we don't post those things online because people are like, oh, discipline your kid more, slap your kid across the face, slap your kid across the butt, take all their stuff away. And it's come down to the fact that we know what Kaylee's problem is. We believe that she has pathological demand avoidance, which is a part of autism. However, the diagnosis process for that in the United States is either one, incredibly expensive, like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 after your insurance, or it's like there's like just a handful of people that know enough about it to actually diagnose it. So Kaylee also now has a referral in, which is supposed to be over 6 months. So from like today's date, it's probably still like 5, 6, 7 months out, to have also like the neuropsychological evaluation done, the autism evaluation done, just to kind of pinpoint where she's at. If we can't find somebody in our system locally who can diagnose pathological demand avoidance by its name, she will most likely end up with autism level 1 with demand avoidance, which essentially is the same thing, the exact same thing. Just they don't have somebody qualified to label it as pathological demand avoidance. And later on, when it is more known and more people are coming out of the education system with the knowledge of what this is, we would have to go back and like have her reevaluated for specifically pathological demand avoidance. But it is on the autism spectrum. So as long as she gets autism with demand avoidance, she will still be able to have all of the help that she needs to work through this. And it's a very, very big struggle for us. It is consuming pretty much all of our time all day long. Either one, you have to give her full 100% of your attention, and that like nothing else gets done. You cannot do the dishes, you cannot talk on the phone, you cannot check your email, you cannot scroll through TikTok, you cannot drive your car, you can't go swimming, you can't do anything but be on top of her and do what she wants to be doing. Or she can go off and do her own thing, but she will most likely end up then having a meltdown. And the reason for that being that she is experiencing basically a panic attack. So what visually to anybody else would look like a really horrible tantrum, like, you know, out in the store, people would be like, oh my gosh, that mother is horrible. She's just letting her kid scream like that. It's not that at all. It is an anxiety disorder and a nervous system anxiety disorder that causes her to have panic attacks. So she's not misbehaving. She's not being bad. She's not being defiant. She is having a panic attack. And as a 5-year-old, it just kind of looks like she's having a tantrum, but it's not. It's a panic attack. And so we have finally figured out what's going on. It has been horrible of doctors just telling us she's just a kid. She'll grow out of it. Oh, she's only 5. Wait till she's in school. You know, those kinds of things. We know now that if this doesn't get fixed, no, like I said, we homeschool. She wouldn't be able to go to public school with this issue the way it is now. Maybe someday down the corner she would, but she would basically be pulled out and put in like one of those schools for like the really bad kids. She's not a bad kid. She's not defiant. She's mostly super sweet. She's so smart. So smart. She will test for gifted someday. So smart, but she has an anxiety issue, and that needs to be figured out and how we're going to help her with that. And it's the information about it in the United States is fairly new. It's primarily in the United Kingdom and Australia. There's a ton of information about it in other countries, but in our country, it is still pretty rare, and there's not a lot of people who can diagnose it. So it's going to be a struggle, but that's kind of where we've been right now. Things have just been busy and crazy and stressful and exhausting, and I wake up every morning and I'm tired, and I go to bed every morning and I'm tired, and it's really a struggle. And the more exhausting part is just trying to share our lives or going out into public and people just telling us that we don't discipline our kids enough or anything. Like, it's exhausting hearing the same thing over again, being told that like it's your fault that your child's having a meltdown, when finally there was some relief. Like, I just about like bawled my eyes out when we were like pathological demand avoidance, and she checked off just every single thing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, finally, like the relief that like finally something clicked and we found something that matched, and we figured out what we have to do to help this, and we've been implementing the things to do to help her. And oh my gosh, it is amazing that like we're finally breaking through as to what's going on. But if you've been here from the beginning, you've seen us struggle with her pretty much since the day she was born, to be completely honest. So that's where we've been. That's why we haven't been doing vlogs. We've been busy, and then just trying to figure out this thing with Kaylee. Every single one of our vlogs just ends in one of these panic attacks somewhere along the way, or starts with one and ends with one, or starts with one, has one in the middle, and ends with one. And I just don't feel right just uploading our vlogs, being like, here we are at the end of our day and Kaylee's having a meltdown, and now we're going to be late for our next thing because she's here screaming for 2 hours in a parking lot. It's just not great. It wouldn't be good of me to share those things every day in a family vlog style. I will share some of her things in videos about pathological demand avoidance to give other people like an idea of what's going on, because there's not a lot of like videos or examples out there other than just spoken examples like my kid did this and this is how we handled it. I do have video of some of her issues that have been going on. So in some videos I might share some of these panic attacks just as an example as to what's happening, so other parents and other people can relate to that. But other than that, I'm going to keep those off camera. Just for her own privacy, and other people she knows will see those that she might not want in the future. So I'm gonna just protect her that way. But we're still gonna be making a lot of videos about all of this. So you're gonna see a shift in our content from the typical happy family vlogs, lifestyle vlogs, to a lot of family vlogs with neurotypical tendencies, neurotypical children, neurotypical mom. And a lot of different like how-tos, informational videos, craft videos for kids with sensory issues, things like that. So I'm sorry if all you wanted was like perfect happy family vlogs, which we've never really had in the first place, but there will be a shift. So I understand if you no longer want to stick with our channel, because a lot of it will be centered around just our life on the spectrum. But yeah, I'll be sad to see you go, but if you do decide to stick around, thank you for being here and for watching, and I hope that our videos will help people and continue to inspire and help people in the future. So yeah, thank you guys so much. Give the video a big thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next one. Also, down below, let us know if you have any comments or questions that you would like us to answer. We will definitely do some Q&A videos and such. So thank you guys so much, and have a great rest of your day. Bye guys.